Hi there, my name is Melody and I'm a psychic medium, and today I'm going to be talking to you about something that you may or may not have heard of called psychic attacks. Now, just before I get into what they actually are, I picked a tarot card and it was the Ten of Swords, which I kind of feel is a little bit connected to what I actually want to sort of talk about today. So swords are all about mental clarity. Thoughts, ideas can lead to creation also as well. And this one is the end of a cycle when you get the number 10. And so it kind of means that if there's been a very difficult period, you're almost now ready to come out the other side. So what this lady's doing is she's looking forward, she's not looking backward. And we as humans have this innate ability to not let shit go. We do hold on to so much emotional baggage that it just no longer serves us, and it prevents us from moving forward. It prevents us from living to our kind of fullest potential unless we continuously shift it and clear it. So this is about reflection, looking forward, not looking backwards, and having almost like that mental clarity to kind of move forward with. And so hence why I now want to talk to you about something called psychic attacks. They are actually fairly common. We've all been party to them, and we've probably even done them accidentally without actually realizing that that's what it is. So what is a psychic attack? Essentially, it is just sending negative thoughts, negative energy, negative words to another person. It can be done out of hatred, jealousy, rage, that kind of thing. And it's bullshit, basically, is what it is. It's just when you send a lot of bullshit to somebody. So yes, we're all guilty of it. If somebody pisses you off and you're there kind of slagging them off to another person, in theory, if it's sent with enough malicious intent, it can then actually create this negative kind of energy. It can cause the recipient to then feel really tired, really drained, maybe even feeling like sick and nauseous, sleep disturbances, headaches, lack of motivation, the feeling of being cursed, the feeling that everything's kind of just going wrong. It doesn't matter what you do, you can't seem to kind of put these sorts of things right. The problem with a psychic attack is we don't always know who is actually sending this to us either. And obviously, if there's a collective of people, if you've got 3 or 4 people basically talking shit about you, then it increases the energy and it increases effectively the malicious intent that it's being sent to you, that can then make you feel like a bag of shit. So we all would have had an experience of this at some point. We just didn't necessarily know that that is what is kind of going on. It has to be sent from somebody that you have some kind of connection with. So it doesn't have to be romantic relationships. It can be ex-friend, ex-work colleague. It can even be somebody that you work next to that you don't necessarily share like a personal kind of life with, but you see them on a day-to-day basis. And so therefore they're kind of part of your remit effectively. So like I said, some of them can be accidental. And then some of them can actually be deliberate, when people will deliberately be going out of their way to make your life a fucking misery. But we all know one of them, don't we? So first of all, you need almost like the identification. If you're just suddenly randomly waking up thinking, I feel really low in mood, I have low energy, and you can't kind of pinpoint it to anything that's recently taken place. For example, if you've had, a bad run of luck over the last sort of couple of weeks with different things, maybe the dog died, maybe the cat got run over, maybe you lost your job, all those different sort of things, they contribute to the mood. So that it makes sense that you feel shit. But if life, is okay, your health is okay, got a family, that's all going okay, relationships are okay, everything's kind of going okay, and it feels like it almost sort of comes out of the blue, this feeling of vulnerability, this feeling of maybe feeling unsafe, almost like a paranoia that you can't pinpoint it to anything, lack of sleep or sleep disturbances, generally just feeling very low mood, lack of motivation, all those different kinds of things. And you could be the victim of a psychic attack. So the first thing is to identify if you're suffering with any of these kind of symptoms. Is there a cause? Is there a root cause that you're able to actually pinpoint it to? If not, then it could be the alternative. So then you learn to fight negative energy with fucking batshit positive energy. So positive affirmations can actually make a difference. It's all of this is mindset related, Don't give in to it. And even if you don't necessarily know who it's kind of coming from, it can still be stopped. It's not a problem. You just have to adopt some kind of tools. So first of all, positive affirmations are good. And it's about believing that it's not going to cause a problem. Let them. You can't stop them from talking shit. You can't stop that because they're entitled to talk about whatever the fuck they want. It's how you react and it's how you allow it to kind of take over your life. That's when it becomes the problem. And that's what you then need to kind of work through. Putting yourself inside an impenetrable bubble of protection. So a quick meditation, it doesn't have to be like anything deep. You just imagine that there's a gold light kind of say coming from the universe, filling your whole body up, and that then a bubble appears and it kind of encases you. You can then imagine that you're pushing at this bubble to make sure that it's really strong. So just because it's a bubble doesn't mean it can't be really strong and effective. You can put mirrors, like imaginary mirrors in front of you, and kind of put them all the way around you. So anything being sent gets sent back. because it's not your shit. It's their shit. It's their jealousy. It's their hatred that's causing them to act like complete fucking idiots. If you believe in guardian angels, or that you've got your relatives around you that have passed away, or, you know, spirit guides, all that different sort of thing, even if you don't know who they are, ask them to come forward. Just ask in your mind, just say, get your fucking asses over here and help me sort this problem out, because this is just absolutely kind of ridiculous. You know, so you ask for them to surround you in positivity. You ask them to surround you in golden light. You know, you ask them to remove any doubt about you from your ego, so that you're not coming from a place of fear anymore. You feel like you're kind of combating this. Crystals can also be a very good one. There's a lot of crystals out there that the metaphysical properties are said to create a shield of protection around you. So any crystal that has a flash to it, you've got labradorite, there's rainbow moonstone, a lot of them that have flashes, and so that acts as that mirror that it protects and it shields and creates like that barrier around you. Then you've got selenite, for example. The selenite comes in many different forms. It doesn't have to be a tower. What selenite does is it clears and cleanses your aura. It removes any negativity from your aura, and it then transmutes it into positive. So they say with selenite, you can put a piece over your door. You can put the four corners of your house as well, and it kind of creates almost like a barrier then of protection, but it transmutes that energy. Also, if you turn this upside down, this is also another good way of combating negative energy, but it's probably not recommended. Oh, look, another point. Ha-ha. Smoky quartz is another good one for protection, as well as black tourmaline. Tourmaline, baby, black tourmaline, baby. I mean, it's not particularly heavy, good as a weapon. Didn't say that really. Black tourmaline also protects you as well. But the most important thing is this, because this is a fucker. This is an absolute fucker. You know, it's like sometimes, for me personally, it's like the left brain and the right brain are two completely different entities. And then there's me, you know, stuck in the middle, like, oh, which one do I listen to? You know, listening to the negative and intrusive thoughts is always a difficult one, but you've got to find ways to kind of overcome it. So I'm just going to very quickly touch upon something just to kind of give you an idea of how a psychic attack can then actually manifest into somebody else. Okay, so I'm just going to share a little story with somebody that I actually know. Imagine two businesses. They are competitive in the sense of they're in the same industry, but what they sell are two completely different things. They are two separate businesses. So we've got business number one, which is the person that I know, and then business number two. And what business number two is doing is going out of their way. They're putting bad reviews online about business number one. They're getting people to chat shit, basically, about business number one. They are, they've got customers that are going into business number one, and they're literally, oh, no, mate, don't go there. Come over here. I'll give you a free cup of coffee or something like that, as a way of trying to steal the business from business number one. Now, this person has had a problem with business number one from the day that business number one went to look at the premises and happened to pop in there and say, I'm going to be taking over this premises, you know, nice to meet you sort of thing. And that person has had a problem from that moment on. And they're going out of their way to cause this person's life a misery. This person has then become ill, almost like randomly, with something that there was never any kind of prior warning that this was going to be happening. Their mood is affected, their motivation is affected, and at the moment that psychic attack is working because it's sending all the shit there, and this person is seemingly unable to kind of combat it, you know? And so then what's now happened is business number two has been slagging off business number one. There was a child that heard every single thing that was said about their father. Business number two isn't very nice at all to want to kind of create this animosity, and this is a deliberate psychic attack against this other person. Now, I believe in karma. What comes around goes around. One way or another, it's never the same. It won't be the same thing. You know, people always think, well, you know, you lost your house, that person's going to lose their house. It's not. There will be other form of karma. But it then just goes to, why can't we just let people be people and just do their thing and just live? You know, you shouldn't worry too much about the competition of another business. The person that you should be in competition with is you. It's you. Just you, just to make sure that you're a different person than you was a year ago, that you've grown, you've evolved, you're ever changing and all these different sorts of stuff. And so many people get stuck in the grind of never evolving. They just remain the same dense, low energy, low vibing pieces of... So the light always does win. It doesn't always feel like it in some cases when you're in a dark place, but I can assure you the light will always win. So using some tools as a way of combating a psychic attack will be extremely effective. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. There's, just really a beginner's kind of guide on it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.